Talking about performing with like big, you performed with 50. How many? Like which international artists?
When Ja Rule was here, did you perform?
I was in 2004. When Get Rich or Die Trying. I was part of Pitch Black Afro's performance team. I have opened for Rick Ross. You know what I mean?
Rose, yeah, I know.
I was actually voted for by Botswana for that. You know what I mean? And it was so crazy because guys used to always make fun of me. But yeah, I can't Rick Rock Botswana.
What's Kalanga?
But you know, like it's so crazy that everything manifests to be truth,
man.
You know? And there's a song that I did a couple of years ago called Swabisa Satan.
Yeah.
And when we were working on the song, I actually used Rick Ross's I think I'm Big Meech as like a reference track. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah, and it was so ironic that 3 years later I was opening for Rick Ross.
Can you tell me something that like how close were you to Rick Ross? Like,
to be honest,
you smell his sweat.
To be honest with you, there are a lot of gatekeepers in Botswana.
Smell his cheeseburgers.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Masala ke semola go etsa plane ka 86 mona I spoke ke nna la thata mona ha ba go la roskata wa bedu tse di phasiba mo plane nyane ke utlwa go mo a kwa tla wa bedu senke ya ga go mona o tore go le se di khadima mo phego we nya ka twa bua ngwanyana wa itara wa era
he bona o tla go wela kwa le karapa ya la go ne kolokotagala ke sa nthopa ga mapoledi ne mo la bona ona e time o ke le tsema go ngwana ke itse go do thotla go
le tla re tshegisa batho le mo
a go letse
le mo marumo
nya tla le ke tsana go disaneng kwa mo
zwi dia motho ka rulela ka ona kana ba dirufinya
a go tswa mo go nna nya mo go mpie kwa
bitsa motsuku
ba mo bonye ga re hit
hey mamas waya
ayo go parsa mtlo mtu ba maki mela ba bana madi bona bona le
mamele
so sa no mme wa tsela o tsikisha dimeno da kono pa mo ke tla la hera mo na go tse mo ba tiri thela le huma hela
sa re go etsa plane mo la ka 86 ke la ntha ke bona re perle bo badisa ola ba mo ba ba tsena ka duo ba rolonyana ka
khate ba go thulu block kwa ke ba simera ba go ra mantshimo kwa badisa
ke bona three block
bana le talent ra go te ba se ke talent ngwentsi tsimo e nyenyane mono tsimo e nyenyane mo go mazwe mona ke ga kologola ha le ka ke lengwa go lo 2024 ka March ha rile ko China go rile go rama ga champion hey go bona go bere kwa mona
ile China
ile tsana di zora bana o togo
le kana yana mona o ka tshwara selepe wena tota mme ke ikgolegela
monna ka re ka re me lwana mona company go ibidwa mangwena o ipoka thata yana mona
ke bitso JCB ha ba mpoka ba mpitse JCB
wa re JCB wa re mamme
hey
ketlene ta tshameka dilepe ba simane
ba juro mara business a plane you wela mara
nya yole
kana ha rena petrol ke bitso ra tara go ba yang go
nya plane ke ga ma ke ta ba di bus
ba ntwa ke di khantsa
nya ke asu di khantsa ke di khantsa ro monna ke remile tsimo tse ditona mona o ka ba ntlela ka dikgantse e le re wena ne mona wa ro remile kae le kae o ntse mo hibidu yana mona bona motho re mantsimo a le mo hibidu mona re ba ntshwela ka gore bona ke matsatsi
ke tlhokomela complexion ka ke batla go ba tola ke letsatsi ano
o ra re mo bona wa bereka
mara ke mo bereki wa tlhwatlha
o why
itse mona play de mona ba re ke le se ke tsere mona ke jigile mo go di tshana ha le mona hey ya go mo mona ga tsa
o se mo lo go nonza ska nonte bala ska nya o tentse
ba ta ba pelo ne senke ya go ta go
ke na le mwe phepole hita ka mala quality spare bontle samala ma
ha wana go sona go tsa malo le na
ana go rena o jealous ke le mlo ro jealous
sale ke se mola go etsa plane ya mi
o jealous
sale ke se mola go etsa plane ka 86
ya no mina mona a se go bereka ha mona ka ke go bona gore o ka tloga rungwana ba go irang ka madi a kana mona a tuwe e busisi
ena mona ke batla go reka chainsaw
chainsaw or chainsaw tse pedi mona tlho se tswa khamone le reka chainsaw mona itse rona a ile mona ke
le penyana kana di lepenyana di a tlhokahala tsone di le bo 2 bo 3 ya mara me chainsaw itse sengwe le sengwe
o why monna o joro tswa khamone mo ka nna mona go mo ja reka ile pele ile 5 madi a mangwa o tlha monna e be ka a nwa hela o tsore 5 days ke sa kupela e lo be sip
ba rekisang dijo le ba diphae ba rekisa dijo ba gologe re emela in 5 minutes kopa le gologeng le itse fela gore ka chance ya tshoganetso re na le emergency ampa plane kawa re sologela gore modimo a re soga re se ka berawa a re soga re beile hela mo modimong ga re na plan ka jalo
le maina a batho ba mona ile ba bangwe ba setse ba suile mona ke setse ka matsadiela bo 665 kilo
All characters and events in this show, even those based on real people, are entirely fictional. All celebrity voices are impersonated poorly. The following program contains coarse language and due to its content, it should not be viewed by anyone. Baitsigadi le ditiragalo tse di supentshwang mo pontshong ena le fa ba theilwe mo bathong ba nnete ke tlhamane fela le mantswe a itiretsweng ga a dirwa sentle pontsho ena e na le mafoko a kgopisang ka jalo e se ka lebelelwa ke mongwe le mongwe.
Jonny Pula and Triccs show. We're gonna have a good time. Come on and live it like fella. Good time, good vibes tonight, yeah. It's the Jonny Pula and Triccs show. We're gonna have a good time. Come on and live it like fella. Tonight is a night for good laughs and vibes, yeah.
Top-notch comedic entertainment.
Ditlamane le metlae fela
Go gore ke podcast e o sa e tlhokeng mare o e rata.
podcast e senang mosola mare le monate.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Jonny Pula and Triccs show. Lina la me ke Jonny Pula.
And I'm Tricks and Reda.
Yeah, man.
Yee.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I don't know today. You know what it is.
guys, give it up. Come on, guys. Let's give a round of applause for my brother Apollo. Come on, we're in the studio. Come on, give love, man. Where you guys like?
Dumelani buzwazi. Dumelani buzwazi. Dumelani buzwazi.
What's up, my brother Apollo?
Kumukiwa ngono.
Awa kumukiwa mdala kuchani.
Danko akuna demoni tate.
Awa ndizo. So welcome to it.
Your phone is ringing. But yeah. But yeah. Oh, what's up, Apollo?
Hey, what up,
Apollo?
fam? What up,
But
fam?
yeah, man.
Salute.
I don't know. What did you guys just say right now?
I was just
Nothing
basically
important.
telling him that the time or one other no, I'm killing.
Kalanga, like that's the beauty about Kalanga. You could say, you could look like you're saying something, Marosa we said.
No, when I would talk, we had a serious conversation right now.
What did you guys say?
No, when I was at our dog, I would do khumura ko la jeng da cause cake.
Okay, those are
Uncle-
important questions.
Uncle na rola la
Didi Pula.
king. Sima whenever be la rona so like.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. Apollo, what's up, man? What's up, my
I'm
brother?
good, dog. I'm good, fam. It's a new year, 2025. I see y'all are back on the grind. It's about that time, bro.
Man, we're
about
happy
that
to-
time.
But yo, man, before we go anywhere else, we realize some people like Namibians,
Listen.
South Africans watch.
Listen.
Quickly, just why we got the OG here, man. Like, just give us quickly who you are about for the strangers at home who don't know you.
If you don't know my name, I'm formerly known as Apollo Diablo. Currently Apollo D. I've been at the forefront of like B-dub hip hop for about 20 years, you know, and I pretty much evolved with the times. I'm passionate about like international collaborations and representing our national pride, you know what I mean? Some of y'all might have heard me on Pitch Black Afro's debut album, Styling Gel. You know what I mean? Shout out to my brother Tulani Pitch Black. I know he out. You know what I'm saying? And that's actually
Wait, hold up. So Pitch Black's name is Tulani.
yes, Tulani.
That doesn't look like a Tulani, dog. Like,
It's actually
He looks like-
S2K.za. So it's Tugza.
oh,
Tulani. That's Pitch Black was just his rap name. You know what
oh,
I mean?
okay. Shout out,
yeah.
shout out, Uncle Pitch, Uncle
I don't
Tulani.
know, like, you know, Maketa do that, dog. Like, you be Tulani, Wahoo Pizza, Pitch Black. But Apollo, what's your real
Why did you pick Apollo first of all?
Um,
Before we tell you, tell us your real name.
my name Apollo Diablo. I'm a Libra. You know what I mean? So
People like star signs.
yeah,
Okay.
you know what I mean. So Libra, as you know, means balance, and it's represented by the scales.
Oh,
And
yeah,
a human being is like a balance of both energy, positive and negative. You know what I mean? So Apollo is the god of the sun, right? The Roman god of the sun, and then Diabolo, the devil,
he's the opposite.
the prince of darkness. You know, so you're
So you're good. Basically, your name is Good and Evil.
yes. I actually have an album called Good and Evil.
Oh man.
You know what I mean?
You think so like you think wakanya with the Apollo.
I mean, hip hop is about that. You know, it's important. You know, we now I come from an era of hip hop where hip hop dog, and I come from an era where knowledge of self was important. You know, and we prided ourselves in learning information, particularly to like the history of Black people and also the history of Africans, the history of protest music. And you know, hip hop has always been that. You know what I mean? In the early '80s, and
It doesn't sound like that anymore, man.
well, you know,
Wop.
shout out to Kendrick, shout out to K Dot. You know what I mean? But it's more diverse now. But definitely, it still exists in that realm. You know what I mean? Not every kid or the youth.
I'm sorry there.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about the other name.
What is your ID name? Are you allowed to share that?
Actually, my name is Monameti Nkuku. You know what I mean? Monameti, come on, dog. Get na Monameti.
Imagine Okopala la Apollo in a passage.
Yo, man. Actually, that every time you say Monameti, I sober.
It sounds like that name. They're like, they're like,
No, definitely. It actually gets trickier. My kola ping keke namona.
oh, okay.
Not, you know, so
Like a hater. Like,
so when my mama says Monameti, I know I'm about to get it. I'm about to get it.
Tell us about how you grew up, where you grew up.
I grew up in Jwaneng. You know what I mean? I grew up in Jwaneng. J Mecca. It was a great time in the 90s in Jwaneng. There was so much diversity. You know what I mean? I had a multicultural classroom.
Basically, that's what you're trying to tell us.
We used to skateboard. We used to swim.
Wait, Apollo, you skate?
You can skate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the best skater, but the people in my area.
Now, why do people come to our podcast
You know
and
what I
lie? Why do everybody's like, no, we're gonna come to join.
No, I can't. Listen, I can't skate. I wouldn't put my nuts on it, but you know what I mean.
But like you won't fall off a board.
I won't fall off a board, and I come from an era where skateboarding was the norm, bro.
Okay.
I played basketball. We did swimming. Basically, there were so many different activities that we did in joining. That's actually how I landed up in hip hop. You know what I mean?
So you had a wholesome childhood.
Great childhood. You know what I mean? So Monameti was called Mona, like the white kid.
Mona.
Yeah, the white
Yo,
kid.
Mona, bro.
Mona.
Let's go play some skit.
Mona.
Yeah, bro.
One of my white boy friends came through to the crib and she heard my mom calling me Mona. So then like he goes to school and he's like, yo, Mona. Then one day I'd be like, yo, what the fuck? Why you calling me that? You know what I mean? And he's like, yo, I heard your mom calling you that, bro. and it stuck until I was finished high school. You know what I mean? People called me Mona, but get Mona, short for Monameti. And AKA Billy Blunt.
Actually, I wanted to ask you something about Billy Blunt. What was your rap name?
Yeah, that was Johnny Blunt.
Yeah, and the lead cousin of hip hop.
You was Johnny Blunt. All right, little bro.
What's up with the Blunt thing?
No, hella.
Like when you cool.
Now my Kwan asked me, Mona, what is Blunt? What is Blunt? And I was like, as a kid, I was like, mom, when you're telling the truth, you are very blunt.
So
you know what I mean?
It's like a lot
lot of
and yeah, blunt, and I'll give you many blunts, very truth. So after a couple of years, I think my mom must have figured this.
And then also, I want to ask about the Kalanga rap.
Yeah, man.
You've been like
apparently, were you the first guy to like record Kalanga verse?
I could never take ownership of like something that is like the language of Kalanga is as old as like very very old.
We're saying
so I could
recording it on a hip hop genre.
I would like to believe I was the one that popularized it.
Oh, so the guys that did record before you.
There were always urban artists that were doing it, especially there's a group called Chilapo. That were doing like Kalanga urban raps. It will sound more like dancehall now.
Oh,
you know what I mean? If you're to listen to it, but for me, like the basics are the same. Like the rhyme scheme,
like Shabarak style thing.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, like but in Kalanga, you know what I mean, and
Mm.
maintaining rhymes and those things. And those guys were there before me.
So what year was this when you first decided to rap against Kalanga?
I when I was in high school, I used to freestyle a lot. You know what I mean? So obviously, I come from like the hardcore underground era, so we would give you those multiple soliloquies and syllables, spiritual miracle, So, when maybe I'd be more relaxed, maybe a couple of black labels later, I got tired of that, you know what I mean? So it'll be my party trick. I'd freestyle in Kalanga to make my boys laugh. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And it was all that for the beginning. And then when I was in Joburg, I'm 18 years old and I'm working on my first record and I'm homesick and you know what I mean? I was like, fuck, I need to really start like really writing in Kalanga. I had never really written
And you're doing this Ulugo.
Yeah, and Cubio produced. No, I was missing Kubua Scala.
Oh yeah.
So you're like, I'm gonna put it on a song.
Like, this guy's the most Kalanga looking person. I can't imagine a month for that.
Yeah, dog. I'm also the most Kalanga fucking. No, I'm kidding. So so I was really missing home. That's how I started to kind of create Sekalak Oban. And ironically, the first song that I would write is called Ikalanga Chedu. That translates to Sekalaka Saro.
Oh, nice.
Or our language. You know what I mean? And it will become iconic.
So I have something, man. I really have to say this, man. Like, I think like Kalanga rappers now, there's a bunch of them.
Yes, it's a whole genre.
Nowadays, it's like especially every new Kalanga guy that pops up, they get a spotlight and they were like, wow, dope, it's nice to hear Kalanga. And it's like they have like, it's almost like a cheat code. I feel like rapping in Kalanga nowadays is like, because Hariza's Kalanga, you could be rapping nonsense. You could just be like,
yeah, no, actually, I've seen a couple of white dudes get I've seen a couple of white
guys, you guys are fronting Kalanga.
But Ndintunga Mili. I'm the chairman of Kalanga, so I can't reprimand.
Yeah.
But you're right. Some dudes is whack, you know what I mean? And some dudes can't get even the basics right, you know what I mean? But for me,
you can't gatekeep such a thing.
I'm at a position where it's important for me to encourage everybody to rap in Kalanga. You know what I mean? Because one, there's no legal documents in our country of Botswana that recognizes our language.
Yeah,
that's a real serious thing. So when you look at it, what we're doing is we're actually playing a pivotal role in preserving our indigenous heritage.
You know what I mean? Songs.
And like I said, the language of Ikalanga is actually very, very.
Right, you know what you're doing to our podcast?
You're making it
interesting and like informative.
Let me ask you something.
Do you ever get groupies? Like, tell us about your groupies, man. Come on, man.
Look.
Look.
Like,
we're about to start talking about the Constitution right now.
I've been around for 20 years.
Yeah.
I've been around for 20 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
groupies.
I came into the game as a youngin', you know what I mean? I've opened for 50 Cent.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, when 50 Cent did Get Rich or Die Trying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me and Pitch Black Afro were just fresh off.
Come on, we're sitting with a legend.
Fresh off like the styling gel thing, you know what I mean?
So you get groupies that night?
I mean,
Get out of here.
I'm just playing, man.
I mean,
carry on.
There's a lot of people that have appreciated my music. If that's what appreciated me and different, some you know what I mean. Some people appreciate our music, know what I mean, and they want to show you love. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like
But the older we've grown, you know what I mean?
Stay away from that.
The older we've grown. You know, like my music and shit. When I was a kid, I used to rap like, yo, I'll take your bitch, nigga. Nowadays, I'm more like, yo, shout out to my woman. I'm to see my son grown.
What's that line he did on Grateful?
I gotta thank you.
Oh, yeah, you had a line about
a line, more
yo, baby. Even if we've been through so much, even if I put you through so much, you stuck with me. And I'm like, Apollo, what are you doing to this poor person? Like, you even had to put it in a song, dog.
I'm
Like,
talking about the group.
Okay. Talking about performing with like big. You performed with 50. How many? Like which international artists?
when Ja Rule was here, did you perform?
No. I was in 2004. When Get Rich or Die Trying. I was part of Pitch Black Afro's performance team. I've opened for Rick Ross. You know what I mean?
Rose, yeah, I know.
I was actually voted for by Botswana for that. You know what I mean? And it was so crazy because guys used to always make fun of me. But yeah, I can Rick Rock Botswana.
What's Kalanga?
But you know, like it's so crazy that everything manifests to
Yeah,
truth,
man.
You know? And there's a song that I did a couple of years ago called Swabisa Satan.
Yeah.
And when we were working on the song, I actually used Rick Ross's I think on Big Meech as like a reference track. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And it was so ironic that 3 years later I was opening for Rick Ross.
Can you tell me something that, like, how close were you to Rick Ross? Like, do you like?
To be honest,
You smell his sweat.
to be honest with you, there are a lot of gatekeepers in Botswana.
Smell his cheeseburgers.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest.
But we're not
with you.
gonna do none of that.
I
other
wasn't.
podcasting stuff,
I
right?
wasn't allowed the kind of proximity. Bana ba gana. Kore, na ka itse tot-
Capella Rick
bana ba ikgapela Rick Ross, they didn't want me. And to be honest with you, shout out to DJ Sid though. DJ Sid was a stage manager of that event,
Nice.
right? And he could see what was going on. There were politics and people were trying to. Because I don't have.
Was it other rappers gatekeeping Rose or like promoters?
No, it was like the people that were hosting him. You know what I mean? So the people that were hosting him. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kenny Mackenzo. Shout out to Kenny Mackenzo. He was actually behind Fables, and he gave me my first shot off an inbox. You know what I mean? So I'll always appreciate Kenny Mackenzo for that. And DJ Sid was like the stage manager.
Yeah.
And I remember he was like, yo, Apollo, you're not getting on stage until we know Rick Ross is in the building.
Yo, man.
You
You know, like, this is like.
And he came. The Sasa class was there. Shout out to her. Rest in peace. I love you for life.
Yeah.
She was like, yo, Apollo, I came here for you, bro. You know what I mean? She coded. Ozzy F. Teddy gave me a bottle of champagne that night. You know what I mean? As recognition for me. You know what I mean? He was like, yo, big homie, we came out here to support you. He gave me a bottle. And we was drinking like Bel Air champagne bottles. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And he...
You are really Rick Ross.
Yeah.
That's
You know
Rick
what I'm
Ross.
saying? Rick Ross.
Yeah.
Like Rick Ross, you saw him up close, right?
Yeah, we saw him up close. You
How
you didn't
I
get
never
to
got
What
an
shoe size?
opportunity.
Like if you think about a shoe size, what kind of rollable size, man?
No, I think I got a bigger shoe.
You got a big
one.
representing.
That guy's shoe doesn't look big. But Rabi needs to do leg work.
Okay, here's another interesting question there. So, like, you know, when you're in the hip hop industry, you want now beef.
How many diss tracks?
Yeah, that's what we want to know. Like,
How many? We don't want to know who you beefed with. How many diss tracks you
Listen,
recorded?
I've beefed with so many people in my early days. You know what I mean?
Are you friends with them now?
Yeah. You know
but
what I mean?
would you
You know what I
go
mean?
in the whole diss track thing?
You know what? I think I've reached a stage where if obviously somebody was to challenge me and my credibility, hip hop is based on that. You know what I mean? I'm ready to defend mine until the end of time. Don't be pretentious with the rhyme. You know what I mean? But I'll be blended and sublime. Anyway, look. So what I'm saying is, you know,
My cameraman is wild right now. So he's just
I've had battles. You know, I've battled radio personalities. I've been banned off radio a couple of times. You know what I mean? Because when I started, I always put my heart on my sleeve. You know, but
Apollo, you keep avoiding our questions, man.
yeah.
We want to know how many diss songs you've made.
More than 10?
Definitely.
This is what I'm getting. That's why this story is getting so long. Why did you get banned off radio? First of all, like damn.
Because there was a gossip columnist that used to happen back in the days, and this gossip column ran like from Monday to Friday, and I was like the butt of their jokes.
So every day there's Apollo.
Yeah. So I was like, no, let me just put out something, and then I retaliated. You know what I mean?
Song.
Yeah, with a diss song, I got banned, but we're good now. I've been banned twice. I was banned twice.
Oh, they banned you and then they let you back.
They let me back.
Thank God for social media.
Did something again.
What did you do? What did you do the second time?
My headbutt a radio presenter. You know what I mean? But we're cool now.
Did he deserve it?
We're cool now. Actually, we made peace on radio. You know what I mean?
So if you're cool, can you tell us who it is?
Yeah, it's Carlos. Shout out to my brother Carlos. You know what I mean?
Such a little guy, dog.
No, the thing is, like we both had egos. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Naked like a Kabile Ramfi to one, and I thought I'll get a Yama nomination because they not.
These are the awards.
Yeah. But shout out to Yarona. I've been with them for 20 years. You know what I mean? And for those that don't know, I'm nominated for a Yama Award. With Hippie Bambino, best hip hop, you know what I mean?
If this comes out before that was vote.
Definitely. So anyway, so I'm at the award and I don't get nominated. And I'm like, you know. So I roll up on this dude. I be like, yo, y'all ain't nominate me. And he's like, then I don't remember what he said. But
crazy Apollo days.
I don't remember what he said, but he said something I wasn't trying to hear. You know what I mean? So I kind of
you gave him a Yangzi dime.
You know what I mean? Then I got banned. You know what I mean? But I'm actually very happy and grateful to have made peace with them and overcome that. And I'm in my peaceful era now, bro. I'm a leader to the beat up fraternity. You know what I mean? And I think that's why I can't be involved in like small little tug of wars. And if you attack Apollo, you're attacking beat up hip hop. That's really what I feel.
Hey, I don't fight, but like I'll tell a joke about you.
So we've been bumping to the album.
Yes, sir.
There's a particular song, we're like, this is interesting. That great.
Yeah, the one we're talking about.
Great shout out to Hansi.
You got Hansi to sing in English for like more than 2 bars.
Which is like,
yo, listen, Hansi.
And I don't think there's any other rap. Which other rapper is Hansi? I think Banty as well.
Banty and Bangu. And then shout out to Breezy. Breezy got a new joint.
That verse is
shout out to Breezy.
That verse deserves.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Breezy. I definitely fuck with him. And yeah, no, Hansi's a very diverse, dynamic rap.
How do you want to put Kiss theme?
Dynamic rap. I mean, vocalist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I met him when he was on his come up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hit him up and he was like, yo, bro, like, I love your work and boom, boom, boom. And I literally watched him become the icon that he is,
Man, that
so later, we working with the same producer. Shout out to Bangu, you know what I mean? And Bangu was like, yo, bro, I could make this happen for you overnight. And we when he recorded his chorus, I wasn't even there, bro. You know what I mean?
You just found
I
the
just
song
found it there. I was like, oh, wow.
So he decided to put the English Kanaka in.
He did all of that by himself, you know what I mean? And
guys,
I think he wanted to show people how he's actually very diverse.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Guys, the song that we're talking about, it's on all platforms, Spotify, iTunes.
Yes.
Grateful. Blood is thicker than the album is called
Blood is thicker than
water. It's the first song. The Grateful with Hansi, guys.
Shout out to Hansi.
That's how you start an album, right there, man.
Yes,
that's how you start an album.
Yes, sir.
What else did you want to ask?
Hey, man, I got a lot of stuff. Yo, your technical writer. Tell us about your, because like I'm assuming like grapes are not your dad. Like right now, this is your most sober interview ever, probably.
Two broke comedians.
No, they've evolved, bro. They've evolved. Not to be honest with you, I think when I was a kid, you'd be like, oh, look on a lady beat, obviously. But now, honestly, I just want to get paid. I want to be comfortable.
Are there any certain standards that you require? At least my
accommodation,
1.5 minutes.
No, bro. Like honestly, I think that I'm not a diva, bro. You know what I mean? And I think that sometimes that, not to say that we don't know our worth, but we're still trying to build. You know what I mean? We're still trying to build. So I mean, if somebody give me 20 rack for a performance, you know what I mean? Obviously, that it involves small basic amenities. But my technical right is not as important as how much you're paying. You know what I mean? And I'll be real with you like that. And I'm speaking to somebody. I've definitely got like the 6-figure checks, and I've also got
like
like
100,000.
yes, like give them 100,000. Everybody give you 100 bula. So at the end of the day,
actually, talking about that, I want to ask you, like,
How long you been in the game? Then you ask that question first.
my debut
20
record,
years.
my debut album, which is The Meaning of Life, I dropped that in 2005, and on it I featured Double HP, and also there's a song there's also The City Owes Me, and also on it there's a song called The City Owes Me I would remix with Pitch Black Afro. Like, bro, these songs are still alive. Like, in fact, when you listen to these songs now, they sound doper. And when I did them, I was just like, let's just hurry up and release. You know what I mean? So it's definitely an honor for these
20
to still
20 years.
Yeah, this is my 20th year in the industry.
Man, guys, like, bro, industry is hard. I've been doing it 9 years. I want to quit, dog. I'm just saying, this is hard.
so here's the question now, Nam.
Yeah.
So, like, when you started, how long did it take you to get your first check? And
how much was it?
Where's your first money you made from?
And what you
hip-hop?
spend their money on?
You see, we came up battling. So we used to battle for prizes.
Oh, so you
know what I mean?
Little bitch.
We used we would enter battle competitions and hope to win. You know what I mean? So
man,
as early as 17, I definitely started getting paid for my music. You know what I mean? And at 17,
it makes sense.
At 17, I was like in Form 4. You know what I mean?
And you were battle rapping.
We were battle rapping.
No idea. I did bet.
I mean, definitely. I mean, sometimes we lose. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And then my first real big engagement came after I released my first single, The City Owes Me. That was like my first #1 single. So I was 18. You know what I mean? Like my first. Yeah,
this is the one you did in Joburg.
No, I recorded it here with QBO.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Shout out Uncle Q.
Shout out to QBO. You know what I mean? I did a remix with Pitch Black Afro. But this song I released when I was 18, my boy. You know, and I was in college at the time in Midrand. And I remember my mom sending me a message like, "Yo, son, your song is #1 on radio."
What?
You know what I mean?
Have you ever got robbed in Joburg?
Yeah, because everybody has a
get
Joburg. We saw a robbery, and that was like scary for us because that was like
I've seen many robberies. You know what I mean? I've never been a victim of like a violent crime, but you know, and just last year when I went for the Back to the City, I got, you know, sloshed and they pickpocketed my phone, but that doesn't count. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the most violent incident I've ever gone through was in Botswana, bro. Last year around October, I was mugged by like 6-7 kids around 7 in the evening. And they stabbed me in my neck. And bro, like I actually was hospitalized, and just because like these guys the doctors didn't want to let me go until they knew that no sensory nerves had been affected.
That's crazy. Did they ever catch those kids?
I could, you know, I'm connected in the street, so we
knew where to find them.
We knew where they were, but I just feel like violence is a cycle that.
No, just getting them like to face the crimes.
I know, I get it. You know, but you know, sometimes I empathize with them more, even though they're my aggressors. I know that's maybe silly me. You know what I mean? And yeah, you know.
If it was Apollo back in the day,
different story. No, I
think we're getting close to that.
We're getting close to that. Yeah, man. We know there's a question we like to ask. Yeah. But I think this time, since we have like what are the other Kalanga cheat? What is it?
Ntungamili. Like he's at the forefront.
Yeah.
Ntungamili wedama.
Yeah. Ntungamili wedama.
Yeah. You know what that means?
Can you ask that question? Where was that? This is showing Kalanga for me. Like name a village, a Kalanga village. Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. So, tosha kuti zina le a village. A village ukuthi Ipsa. Just started right now. No simulula, so you have to name it. Ungaida na udini if you have to name a village.
Kalanga one. Come on, man.
Kalanga there was size was it Sinete.
Yeah. Where is he from again?
Bomathangwane.
Matangwane, like those vibes.
Dombo Dema.
It exists, isn't
It
it?
exists. I know it was a cheat
It
code.
already exists.
I can't even say Dombo Shaba.
It already exists.
Say Dombo nigga.
Double it up. Dombo.
Come to think about it, those are the only colors. Dombo, I'll call it Dombo. Yeah.
That's it.
Moto with Dombo, good Dombo.
The capital is
Yeah, good Dombo.
Mountain.
Yo, man, like, you know what? One word is Nkange, though. Where's that, guys?
Nkange.
Like, it's always like it's like a constituency that.
Yeah. Shout out. Nkange is a big constituency, man.
Yeah, but tell me about
after
that.
Bototo, man.
Yeah.
Is it?
After Bototo.
So-
I think, after Bototo, we just.
So is it a village or like a region?
It's a
It's a
village.
village.
Oh.
Mia, I'm from Matangwan.
Yeah.
Nkange.
So
No, Nkange uTenaga. I think.
Nkange no kona kungina either way.
Yeah.
Never just like
There's
somebody right
there's
now
the
Namibia.
there's the Maung Kalanga. There's the Maung A1 Kalanga.
Oh, yeah.
Then there's the Zimbabwe
The
border
Tsamaya.
Kalanga. Tsamaya. Wabona kore ditsela di a riana,
And
wabona.
then they do this.
Yes, and then they converge at the
Yeah,
front.
At the,
you know what I
at
mean?
the border, the Zim border, you can like.
Eish, we've
Another
no
round.
not Tanlasha.
Hey, walashi guy.
Walashi.
Wait, hey, ubona tsela la mo lepole. O gona go prinsa go thamaga. Hey, it's like that.
Like, oh, it's like a,
O gona tswa
it's a back road.
It's a back road.
Oh, okay.
No, but I appreciate the interest, Johnny. Yeah, appreciate the
I
interest.
really do care, Dad. Like,
Mhm.
what's the new Kalanga word that I learned? I forgot.
Tungamili.
Okay, you told me Tungamili. The Milika, I think the Milika. Milika, I get it.
Hey, no milika no nanga.
Milika. But I'm working on the sentence, guys. Go ahead, I got the whole. Like, I don't want to be culturally sensitive. But yeah, we'll work on it after the podcast,
Yeah,
guys.
man,
Let's give it around.
So far, Johnny's still on the milika. We still
Yeah.
don't know where he's going.
Kwazo too. Stuff in my pocket. Like, these are the ones I just like, like throw down.
throw a
Like,
couple
I
of
get a
times.
go Kalanga. Like,
Ko Bukalanga.
Go Bukalanga.
Yeah.
How did I say?
Ko Bukalanga. Why can't I go Bukalanga?
Go Bukalanga.
Bukalanga.
I have to say, like, pronounce it right.
Yeah, Bukalanga. I'm sorry.
It's in Kubukalanga.
Yeah, Kubukalanga. Much love.
I need practice, guys. I love
Hey,
you guys so
guys.
much. Thank you so much, Paul.
You know what it is. Podcast day sort of musola.
Like,
podcast day waste time day.
dude, I don't know, but I think we had fun, man. Like, this is a side of Apollo we didn't know.
Yeah.
Apollo, what kind of right?
How is it fit?
We're getting consciousness. You blood.
It's not just a rap. Ramala zinga ga rap yo ba bata go nna two, ba bata go nna two lyrical.
And guys,
lyrical.
go stream the album, man. It's actually
Yeah, man, go stream.
there's some it's very diverse. It's got old school songs, new jams, got R&B, it's got everything for
It's
you.
got Hansi.
What else should you expect from Apollo this year?
There's a lot of content that we're working on. We're trying to enter the content creation space.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna start see some skits.
You're gonna see me jumping into like podcast arena.
Nice.
We're working on something for terrestrial television.
What does that mean? What does terrestrial tell it? For Botswana ko like people.
Baba mo lapeng hela
For
gore
tricks, for tricks.
Bo the TV, bo BTV, bo SABC one.
That's terrestrial TV.
Yeah, you know, kera baba, yeah, you know, television, say television.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm also working on back-to-back records. You know what I mean. I'm also mentoring upcoming artists. You know what I mean. Shout out to
You want to shout out any of these new artists?
look out for my brother Lamonti 25. Go stream his record. It's called Storytime Kasi Rap. You know what I mean.
You support Musafo guys. That's nice, though.
I came up with Double HP, bro. You gotta understand. You know what I mean. Rest in peace to Double HP. Rest in peace to Sasa Class. Rest in peace to Drama Boy. That's all I want to say.
So you don't want to know more artists that you want to shout out?
Go stream Kalanga Boy's record. Go stream Blood is Thicker Than Water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, hey, Mahokon Tatu. You know what I mean?
I think
Rest in
we're
peace to those people that I said. You know what I mean? Drama Boy,
Hey,
Double
man.
HP, Sasa. We gonna love you for
Heck,
life.
man. It's a little sad without them, man.
Definitely,
Like,
definitely.
It's a little
They-
sad.
and
Shout out Smokey.
shout out to
Smokey.
Smokey.
Smokey used to shoot the video.
We're here because of
Yeah,
you
man.
already
Shout
know.
out Smokey.
You already know. You already know.
Listen, man, RIP. But yeah, man, that's the Jonny Pula and Triccs show.
Well done. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. I'm proud of y'all, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm proud of. No,
No, we're not la musula. Yarna podcast na ga ena musula.
Like
Re disa batho ba na la musula go
for at
They
least
have
to
bullying.
rebalance.
No, how-
You say life is all about balance. If you were to sit here really true.
Yes, sir.
with no balance. Bro.
Yes,
How about God, this guy doesn't even know a lot of stuff, man.
No.
Like, he only knows Kalanga,
Dog.
dog.
I got Google.
Can you guys roll the credits so I can finish these things?
Yeah, man, enjoy
Yeah.
the grapes, man. But yeah,
discuss or
guys, good night. Though there's a skit after this. Oh, this one is worth it. This one is
all of them are worth it.
This one is fire. And there's also a music video. Yeah. You know, I just know it's a local song and we endorsed that guy or her. Yeah. Yeah.
Oabile dikgang tsa broke news. Ona ke le kapale mo tlhogong ga o sa dumele ke ga gago. Wa boraro. Mo dikganyeng tsa mo gae banna bangwe ko motseng wa Triccs go bolelwa ga ba kapile go lo mo go jang airtime, data le motlakase ga mmogo le madi a mo di-accounteng. Pholo go tsananyane ena kapiwa ke makawana le mane ko motseng wa Triccs. Go belaisega ga phologene ena e tshwerwe e re ja madi e tshwerwe e re ja madi a pension a mosadi mogolo ko motseng ona wa Triccs. Ga re tsena mo go tse dingwe tsa mo gae le kawana lengwe ko motseng wa Tswapong o bidiwang go te phaila borotho o inventile legunya le le sa feleng a re legunya lena o le latlhela fela mo ganong me go tswa fo ebe le boa le kgwisa gape le kgolokotega ko ntle bo ba o le kometsa gape me irile go a go testa legunya lena go ne go a dibala basadi ba gole ba le babedi le ngwana le mongwe mo go tsa mafatshe a sele Donald Trump a rotla kgaola AD ya USAID mo Botswana go bolela fa tla tsa dio tsa gagwe jaaka bo healthcare tsa botsogo bo communications ga mmogo le phefo go bona ga fa Botswana a kolota America phefo ya diketekete go bolelwa fa Botswana ntse reka oxygen kana phefo e re hemang kwa America jaanong Trump wa etsa ministera wa tsa tikologo ona re o reka phefo ko Zimbabwe me yone e ne e na le sengwe se se botlhabetsi mo moweng le go mo go tsa metshameko Botswana o tla hosta di-game tsa AFCON mo dibekeng tse di tlang me Bompotho le Boyelele ne ba ikuela ba re ba batla go tshameka le bone ba tla segelwa sebaka teng kwa AFCON le bone ba go iteka lesego go bediwa botlhe fela Bompotho le ba Boyelele gore ba tle go registerela metshameko ena dikgang di tlile bokhutlong ke le kapa le motlhogong